For our next word that's mistranslated in Numbers 5:27, I first have to take you to a lexicon for the Greek translation of the word, because the Hebrew scholars are real chary about translating this word. And the Greek scholars, of course, of the Bible are also chary about translating it. So as you can see on the screen, I had to go to Tufts University. This is one of my favorite places to go for studying Greek. Perseus, see here see Perseus, right there. It's a real good source for Greek materials, and what you're looking at is its search options, which you can get by clicking on all search options, which is just below the search box, and you get to have all kinds of little options about how you want to search the text and in what language. What you're seeing on the left hand side of the screen is Outenreich's definition of the word that we have in Numbers 5:27, which is translated swell in English Bibles, but the actual word is preto in the LXX. And you will notice that it's a verb that combines the notions of blow, stream, and burn. Okay, it's a swelling or a filling due to a blowing, a streaming, or a burning, filling up. Okay, it has a lot of different meanings, and it's a common enough word in Greek literature. And you have to remember that the LXX was written during the time when classical Greek was still very much in vogue. Our friend Alexander had only been in Alexandria for about 50 years. You know, they'd come and gone, really. So the classical Greek meaning of words, even in Koine, was very important. Then we have here the middle ladel, which is what you're going to see when I come back to BibleWorks. You're going to see the middle ladel. Liddell Scott is a famous group of lexicographers who are used for Bibles. And this is a quote from Odysseus, okay, which you can find. You know, all you have to do is click on the words. I'm not going to do that for you because this is about the Bible, not the Odyssey. But to learn what these words are and how they're used, okay, this is what Liddell came up with, and he's using quotes to show how well the words are used in classical Greek literature. Okay, blew a shower of blood through his mouth. That's pretty violent. And that's exactly what the Hebrew is talking about here. And then we have the Liddell Scott version. Okay. Just so that you see, it's Liddell Scott's entry for the word. Notice that it's tracing that to pimpremi. The verb is being traced to pimpremi, burn, but it's really more this one, swell out by blowing. You're going to see that in the lexicon of BibleWorks. And then this is a quote. I can't. Let me see if I can just do it this way. That's where in Odysseus you find it, the Odyssey rather. Okay. So if you want to look these things up in Perseus, now you know how to do it. Okay, now we're back with BibleWorks, and highlighted in blue is the Greek word we just saw at Perseus. It is preto, and that's what you saw, for the last 4 minutes. I'm using the Greek first because it's clearer, and I'll have to go through a lot more with the Hebrew. All right. As you saw in the dictionary entry, it meant to blow up or swell out by blowing, and then this was the Odysseus quote, to blow out and drive out, or blew a shower of blood through the mouth. That's really what's being said here. It's very graphic for what happens in a miscarriage. At first, when I was researching this, I thought, okay, well, God's talking about an ectopic pregnancy. And I'd love to show you that on the internet, but unfortunately they all have very graphic pictures. So I would ask you to Google on the words ectopic, E-C-T-O-P-I-C, pregnancy. And they'll tell you all about what that is. Basically, it's a detachment of the fetus because it's attaching in the wrong place. But all miscarriages result in the fetus detaching prematurely. And it isn't necessarily an ectopic kind of problem. But it's like ectopic in that the fetus will not survive. There's just no way the fetus can survive. So this is really talking about that kind of thing. The idea is that the pregnancy goes on, the fetus grows, and blows up. Okay? And if you know anybody who's had a miscarriage, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So that's the word here. In Hebrew, it's this word right here, savah. Okay? And it's translated swell up because the uterus is growing. If it's an ectopic pregnancy, then it's the fallopian tubes that are growing, but usually the fallopian tubes, sometimes somewhere else. But it's a swelling up of that area, the womb area of the body. But it swells up and then blows up. It's not just swell up. It's like filling up a balloon with water and then bursting it. The second verb stresses that, which we're going to cover later. Right now I'm just covering the swell part. The verse that's talking about, see, it even says so. See? Nafel means to fall, to be cast down, to fail. And this verb here is talking about the falling out of the material that's in the uterus. Falling out of the uterus. Okay? But the first verb we're covering here is talking about the swelling up, and it's a swelling up to the point of bursting. Right? In blue. Tsava. Sabah. Really better. Okay? And then this is the Saveh. Okay, but he's talking about Tsav, Ta. What's Tsav Ta? She will swell up. Okay, this is the womb swelling up because here's the womb, word for womb again. Betna. Tsav Ta, Betna. And nobody wants this thing to happen. Okay? It's swelling up in order to burst. That's what it's really talking about. Now, that's why I first led you to the Greek, because the comparative word in the Greek for that, the Greek that's used, see, this is the word for womb in Greek. Okay? And here's the word for womb in Hebrew. Alright, this is the word that's being used to translate this word in Hebrew. So it means to blow up until it bursts and then blow out. Okay? Here's an entry about Judas. That was the myth about Judas. His guts blew up and then spilled out of him. Alright? So, you have in front of you all of the sources I can show you in a video. And I think you can figure out just how gross this is. I don't know that I need to belabor the point. So I think I'll stop here.